I discovered an amazing stat about the 2017 and 2018 Warriors. What I found was that when Klay Thompson had an inordinate amount of shots, that Warrior team was quite vulnerable. When Klay Thompson, in 2017, when Klay Thompson took 22 or more shots, um, the Warriors were 6-4. Okay, now that was 65-17 team. Okay, the next year in 2018, when Klay Thompson took 19 or more shots, the Warriors were 14-7. Okay, so the you have a shot at beating the Warriors. Not a great shot. So why do I bring this up? Why are the Warriors more vulnerable when Klay Thompson takes a lot of shots? Well, the reason is because Klay Thompson, even more so than Stephen Curry, is a system player. Okay, amazing shooter, but he doesn't really have the ability to create his own shot. Okay, and so when he's taking a lot of shots, what it means is that uh, the, uh, the defense doesn't really have to worry about him turning bad shots into good shots for other teammates. So he may personally go off on you, but he's not going to help his teammates go off too. Essentially, what playmaking is, it is the ability to turn bad shots for yourself into good shots for teammates. That's what playmaking is. Why do I say all this? My contention is that while Kobe Bryant does not have the stat line that LeBron James and Michael Jordan have, Kobe Bryant was more impactful on winning than even Michael Jordan. And the reason is because Kobe Bryant's ability to score from anywhere was so stressful that it had a tremendous impact on the defense. And that it is my contention that that is a more important skill set than is shooting percentage or getting one or two more assists per game or one or two more rebounds or anything else. It's gravity. Okay, and Kobe's gravity literally was all over the court, from everywhere on the court. Remember, Kobe Bryant held the NBA's record for three-pointers in a game for 12 years. And he made 9 or more threes 4 times in his career. So while he was never a marksman like Ray Allen, he could beat you from there. He could beat you from beyond the arc. And he did. So that brings me to this statistic, which I believe is very, very convincing evidence that Kobe is, in fact, the greatest component to a championship team in NBA history. We all know about the game's greatest playmakers, game's greatest point guards. Your Magic Johnsons, your Steve Nashes, your Jason Kidds, Chris Paul, et cetera, et cetera. We all know about the greatest point guards in NBA history. I had a question that I wanted to resolve. How did their teams perform when they did the best job at playmaking? how did their teams perform when they did a remarkable job of dishing to other players, of creating opportunities, when they had their best assist games? You would think that their teams would perform better. And in fact, they did perform better in each and every one of these cases. So what I did was I looked at each one of the players listed, and I took the total number of games that they've played throughout their career, and I took the top 5% assist numbers. Okay. So for instance, Kobe Bryant, and I'm doing this off the top of my head, but Kobe Bryant, about 5% of his games, and it was hard to do an exact number. Like for instance, Kobe Bryant, about 5% of Kobe Bryant's games did he record at least 11 assists. Well, that number is not exactly 5%. It's more like maybe 4.5%, because, a player may have 10 assists 15 or 20 times, So if you take the 11, if you take 11 as the start point, you may have the top 4.5% of games. And if you take 10, you'll end up with the top 6% of games. I'm just using that as an example. So to the best of my ability, I tried to find the total, the assist total in a game that represented the top 5% of assist, 5% assist total games in that player's in that player's career. Okay. Obviously, some of the players on this list are legitimate point guards. Kobe wasn't a point guard, so whereas Kobe's top 5% was only 11 assists, Magic's, I believe, was 16. Okay. And so, as I said before, in each one of these cases, the teams did play better. Okay. But as you see from this list, Kobe's teams improved the most, more so than even Magic Johnson. Okay. So let me say that again and rephrase it so that you really understand. When Kobe made up his mind to be a playmaker, his gravity was so threatening that he improved his teammates, his team's fortunes, more so than even Magic Johnson, or for that matter, any other great player in recent NBA history, modern NBA history. You notice LeBron James and Michael Jordan are on the bottom of that list, of this list. Okay? So it really goes to show, like, how effective Kobe's ability to score from anywhere was. And this is sort of part two of the making teammates better. There's a reason Vladimir Radmanovich and so many of Kobe's teammates had their best shooting percentages with Kobe. It's because when Kobe's on the court, he puts so much stress on the team that they really can't worry about Smush Parker. And that's, I would say that is true to a greater extent than even the other great players in NBA history. I've said it before, the stats that matter tell me that Kobe was the GOAT. Okay? When you really, really dig deep and you really focus on what produces championships and not just the eye popping stat line. When you look at the stats that actually correlate to winning championships, um, it's a much more nuanced discussion, and I think Kobe ranks very favorably.